Hey, corn folk, welcome back. Gonna get into our 1940s wheat cents here out of that bigger jug that we had from earlier. Keep this series rolling along a little bit. Gonna take a minute to sort these out, but I'm gonna get rolling and see what we run into. Get them all sorted, date and mint mark right now, and then be back to kind of show you what we're dealing with. So let's go. So this is the pile just from the small jar. And fortunately, we're only two in. We got one with a mint mark. Unfortunately, both erasered, but at least this one might not be picked through for all the mint marks. So that's a good sign. Just figured I'd share. And start the grind again. Let's go. So we're still real early in hunt here, and we got a 45 with a pretty nice little lamination on it down there on the vest. It looks like part of it might be folded over and then smashed back in. I can't really tell, but that's kind of cool. Just figured I'd stop and share. And might even be a little bit down there on the vest as well. But anyways, we'll keep on moving and get these sorted out one way or another. So we're still sorting through here with quite a bit left to go, but this guy threw under the scope to see the date for sure, and we landed on this side and found this giant lamination, which is pretty sweet. Not really trying to look for errors and varieties as we go, but I couldn't really not see that one, so that is pretty killer. Never had a lamination quite that large on a cent, or on any coin for that matter, so we'll take it. Once again, I wish they hadn't hit the date with an eraser, but I guess it is what it is. But we'll take it for sure. Luckily, the focal point is the reverse anyway, so not too shabby. Pretty sweet looking. All right, I can jump back in and keep on sorting. It's taking forever, but we're getting there. So we finally got two empty jars back here. Got everything sorted out. These are all the ones in tubes up here. All Phillies. We got 40s, 41s, 42s, no 43s, 44s, 45s, 46, 47, 48, 49. And then these are all of our ones with mint marks on them. We had all but the 48 and 49 San Francisco. So 48 and 49, we just had the Denvers. So not too terrible. We'll at least have a whole filler for the most part out of the decade. We'll just be missing two. Well, not including the steel cents, but I knew there wasn't any of those in there. So just these couple holes down here we'll have to fill up. And who knows, I might have them somewhere else. I know I got plenty laying around, so. But as far as this jar, that's going to be it for the 40s. So I'm going to start running through, looking for errors, varieties. We know we got one in there. And I'll bring you back in as soon as we got something else to look at. So we got through the 1940s Phillies. This is probably the nicest out of the bunch here. Be the one we hang on to for an album. Really, the only other thing in there is there's quite a few that had at least a moderate kind of wood grain look to them. Probably my two favorite are the two of the darker ones. Most of them seem to be really light. They look like a little wood grain look on them. And then these two that were a little darker, I kind of liked the most. I don't know exactly what causes the color difference, but still kind of neat. I think probably this one here is probably my favorite of the bunch, but that's it for the 40s, or 40s Phillies anyways, but just figured I'd stop in and show you what we got out of those, and now we're going to move on to the 41s. Hoping for some double dies out of there, but, you know, who knows? They probably would have been picked through by this point, but we'll see. Let's go. Well, we got one of our 41s under the scope here that apparently somebody tried to make it look like a steel scent at some point, I'm guessing. It's got some kind of coating on it. I'm not sure exactly what it was. And it looks kind of crazy on the back. It's got like all these lines. I'm not sure if it was sitting in an album or what it was that caused that, but it's kind of crazy looking. But definitely some after issue problems happening here, but I don't know, people are crazy, I guess. But we're only maybe a third of the way through the 41s. No double dyes yet. A few kind of woody grain ones, and that's about it. But we got a few more to go, so let's jump into them. Well, we finished up with 41s. As expected, no varieties in there. But we did have a small little pile of varying degrees of wood grain look to them. These two probably being the coolest. This one is a little bit lighter in color. It's pretty cool looking. And then this one's pretty dark. Not as dramatic as a wood grain look to it, but this one's pretty cool, especially on the overs. We got our one that we picked out of the bunch that we'll keep for an album. It's in fairly decent shape. Got little tiny hints of red still left in it. And then, whoa, my bad, dropped you. This is the one we looked at earlier. It's got that huge lamination on the back of it. That one's pretty darn cool. So probably my favorite of what we've found so far. So we're going to keep on moving. Jump into the 42s. Got a couple DDOs, I think, to look for on those as well. So hopefully we'll have a little better luck over there. But if not, we'll at least find something. So let's go. Well, we went through the 42s, and this is really the only thing we're keeping out of them. One for the album. There was a couple in there that had slightly better detail left, but they all had an issue of one sort or another, whether it's just some kind of scratches or dings or stain. This one I felt just looked overall the best. Pretty good detail and no kind of distracting issues going on with it. So that's the one I decided on keeping. And we're going to move on to the 44s and see what's in there. Let's go. Well, we've been through the 44s here, which is by far the most, I guess not by far, but the most that we had of any one date. And this is the one we're going to hang on to for the album for the time being. Actually got a little bit of luster hanging on to it, so probably been cleaned at some point by the looks of it, or maybe even just through the wash a couple times. Not necessarily like harsh cleaning, but it's a little toned up, a little luster left, so we'll take that. And we're going to move on to 45s and see what we get. Well, we're about a third of the way through the 45s here, and this is by far the nicest one we've come across so far. It's got a little hints of red here and there, still tucked in there. Unfortunate little light scratch there in the field in front of his forehead, but it also has a little bit of a dye clash right under his chin there, you can see. It'd be a clash from the N in scent on the reverse. It's not super crazy, but it is a little clash, so we'll gladly take that, especially considering it's probably on the best of the bunch so far, at least detail-wise. So we'll take that and keep on moving. Just double check, make sure we don't see anything here in the back. I'm not seeing anything. Alright, so on to the next. Well, we finished up the 45s, and the only thing we're keeping is that only one we looked at throughout the little search there. Keeping one for the album. A little red in it, a little clash on it. Like I said, unfortunate little scrape kind of right in front of his face, but it is the best looking one of the bunch, so, and it's got the little added bonus of the clash, so why not keep it, right? And we're going to move on, see what we can find in the next one. Let's go. Well, we've been through the 46s, and again, we're just going to have the one that we're pulling out for an album. Probably needs a little acetone. It's got a little gunk up here by We and down behind his jacket and right at the kind of the nape of his neck there, but a little hints of red here and there, a little luster left on it, so not too bad for a little starter anyways. And now we're moving on to 47s. Don't have as many. This was the last date that I had a bunch of, so might not have anything super crazy to pick from as far as for the album, but we'll see what we get. And I'll be back in just a sec. Well, we're through the little partial roll of 47s we had. Unfortunately, no DDOs, but we did have a nicer anyways. Probably one of the nicest that we've pulled out so far. Far from a full BU red, but we'll take it. And move on to the 48s. I think we got a little over a roll of those, so let's see what happens. Well, we got through the 48s, and it wasn't even close. This is by far the nicest out of the bunch that we had. Fairly decent shape overall. Kind of some cool color on it a little bit. We'll take that for sure. A little spot filler in the album. And moving on to 49s. A little less of those, so again, run that chance of not having anything nice out of it, but we'll see. Well, we ran through our 49s. This is the best of the bunch. No errors, varieties, anything of that sort. Just a coin for the album. So we'll take that, and we're going to move on to our smaller collection of mint mark coins. So got through all of our Phillies, and we just got a little bit left to go. So let's see what we get. Well, we wrapped up going through the 40s with mint marks here. The only thing we're really keeping out of them is just some little starter coins for the album. Didn't have a whole lot to choose from, so some of them aren't in the best of shape by any stretch, but they're starters at least, so we'll take them. Some are a little nicer than others, but... And then in 48 and 49, all we had was the Denvers, so we'll take those. So out of all these fellas and all these are the leftover mint mark ones here. My favorite out of everything, where'd I put it? Oh, I threw it under the scope. This lamination that we found earlier, this is sweet looking. But unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot of finds, just this guy. I mean, bunch of coins for the albums, but we'll take what we can get. And we're going to move on to the 50s on another video. I guess it's got kind of a wood grain look to it. I hadn't really noticed that. Maybe that's what caused this little lamination to get going. But we'll take it. Pretty sweet. But 50s will be a separate video. This one's probably going to be a little long. So I will see you over there, folks. And we'll see what we find in the 50s. Peace.